क्या चल रहा है? अच्छा, उठा दिया तेरे को मैं। ठीक है, टाइम भी हो गया उठने का। हम्म।
रिकॉर्डिंग आपण तू लावली.
Hey, hello everyone. So it's 10:01, but people are joining in. So we'll wait for 5 minutes. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for confirming, Prasad. By the way, in the meantime, I've sent two emails. If you could check, could have been one, but I forgot. So the second one is for the chat support that you'll get. I will reconfirm once we start. But yeah, do check the emails out. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just check, Romanos, if I am pronouncing your name correct.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah. Mm, yeah, it is there. Check spam folder maybe if you didn't receive the mail I sent. Okay. Yeah, it is sent from the email queue, so probably you got it. Hmm. Okay. So some bug I don't know in Frappe school, it only picks up the first 20 students for email. Ah, so that's why maybe you didn't get the email. Okay, we'll fix and resend. But yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to Frappe framework training. And just share my screen. Yeah. So I'll make Nikhil, are you there? I'll make you the host so you can also admit people.
Yes, I'm here.
Make host, host. Okay, you are host now. So that should be fine. Cool. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Thanks. Thanks for confirming. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start with a quick round of introductions and then we'll discuss some logistics and then we'll begin with the training itself. So I'm Mohammad Hussain Nagaria and I am a product evangelist slash trainer at Frappe. And yeah, I have a small YouTube channel that you can find if you search for Build with Hussain. And That's it from my side. You can if you have joined like multiple person from the same team, you can one of you can introduce the others as well. So we'll start one by one. Let's go with Danny Roach. Danny, can you unmute or tell
Yes,
where
of
you are
course.
joining from? Yeah.
Good morning. Hello,
Come
Danny
on.
here. I'm from
Hi Danny.
Germany
Hi Danny.
and I'm a Flutter developer since half a year,
Mm-hmm.
working in a company which is providing services and customizations.
Mm-hmm.
I was or I'm a web developer normally, so I'm coming from the software and web developer direction and yeah, looking forward for this day.
Nice. Welcome. So yeah, second next we can go to Dev. Dev, are you there? Okay. Otherwise we can go to one or yeah, one since you are unmute, you can you introduce yourself? One Paulino. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correct, but
You
hi, hi.
can,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can.
uh, good. My name is Juan Paulino, and the person that you were mentioning, Def, is
Mhm.
actually part of my team.
Nice.
And he and me are working from Eladon, a
Mm-hmm.
Dominican company
Mm-hmm.
that we provide ice cream service. And we are part of the technology team. He is the developer, and I am the system manager of the RPNX that we are using.
Nice.
So we are thrilled to be here and be part of the training.
Awesome. Your partners or users?
Uh, I'm a super user, and he is a developer.
Okay. Cool. Good to have you. Thanks. Next we can go to Imran. Imran Mustafa.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can you
Hi,
hear
hi.
me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, hi, my name is Imran. I'm from Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a postgraduate bachelor degree student. I just start working at a small startup company that utilize in ERP Next that use ERP Next. So, I would like to gain a lot more from you to same.
Thanks.
All
Yeah.
right, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks for joining in.
All right.
Yeah, next we can go to Malik. Malik Abdilal.
Yes, I'm Malik Abdul, a software developer
Hi,
in,
Malik. Mhm.
can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Can you?
Yes, software developer in for consultation and development in Qatar, and we provide ERP next solutions and integrations.
Nice. Thanks for joining in. Next we can go to Melvin. Melvin. We can't hear you if you are speaking, Melvin. Okay, in the meantime, we can go to Nigam. Nigam Patel.
Yeah, hello. My name is Nigam
Hi.
Patel, and uh, we want to include this ERP Next with our project, and we are we are trying to learn by these sessions and implement this in our products as well. Thank you.
Okay, good. Next we have Prasad. Prasad Salgude.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
My name
morning.
is Sargule.
Mhm.
I am from Thane, India. I am working as a technical consultant in trade management technology,
Mhm.
and we want to implement this ERP link in our project. So I am here for that. So that's all from
Mhm. Cool, cool. So sadly, we won't touch any ERP next, but yeah. So yeah, NAP. You can go now if you want. NAP. Okay. Who's left? Romanos. Romanos.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Romanos.
Correct.
I'm from Intelion. We are based in Jakarta, Indonesia,
Nice.
and we are a management consultant that have been working to implement system to our client for almost 3 to 5 years. And we are to join the certification for ERP next last week, and excited to join the Frappe also because we want to learn about more of the customization of this framework.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
to have you.
Thank you.
Thanks, thanks. Next we have Tanuja. Tanuja Mahajan.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. My
Good
name is
morning.
Tanuja Mahajan. I am from Delhi, and basically I am a web developer, but I want to gain some knowledge in Frappe framework. So I have joined this course. I hope you will start from scratch.
Of course.
Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Thanks for coming. Next we have Vishal Patil.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I'm from Mumbai. I am a backend developer, Python developer, basically, and I have joined this course because our company demands that.
Because your company wants you to.
Yes,
Yeah. You didn't want to join the call?
yes, I also wanted.
Okay, cool. Good to have you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so at the end we have Darnes or Darnes. Are you there? Um, or you can, if you don't want to, or maybe you don't have the mic support, then you can type it in the chat. That also works. Because for some reason your mic doesn't show up. Okay. But yeah, before we proceed, we have Nikhil Kothari here, and you might have seen him on YouTube with me or somewhere else in the community. He has his company, the Commit company, they have built Raven. So he'll be co-teaching the course with me. And yeah, maybe introduce yourself, Nikhil. You can unmute and
Yeah. So I'm Nikhil. Uh, I I mean we run a small company here. We specialize in Frappe framework development. We built quite a few libraries for Frappe framework, mostly developer focused, and we have a product called Raven, which is a chat platform built on Frappe. So
yeah, the
yeah,
one you are
excited.
signing up for right now. The email
Yeah.
I have attached, that
Okay.
platform is built by them. Yeah.
Yeah, please report bugs on our GitHub. Yeah, excited to be here. And yeah, that's about it. Hussein, I just wanted to confirm this.
Yeah,
Imran is requesting to record this meeting locally. Should
that's
I
fine.
allow it? Okay.
That's fine. We are anyways recording.
Okay.
Sally is just take this call. Yeah, we can allow recording locally as well because anyways we'll share the recording.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, Sally. Okay. Just wait a moment. Some people have maybe joined the wrong link. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay. Because nobody is in the meeting room.
Hello,
Hi, Dennis. Now we can hear
hello,
you.
are you
Hi, we can hear you. Go ahead.
okay? I'm Dernis, like you see my name there.
Yeah.
I'm at DRC,
Mm-hmm.
DRC country. I'm in LS service company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm also a developer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to get another level in this beautiful framework that we love that.
Nice.
Okay, that is my need. I want to perform that for my company and help our customer to about their mission. Okay.
Okay. So
Thank you.
apparently there was a Google Meet invite. So thanks for the introduction. Google Meet is invite sent as well, so people are joining that. Let me just hop into that call and bring them here. So please join here. So yeah, hi everyone. I don't know how the Google Meet invite got sent, but actually the trainings happen in Zoom call, so please join in there. We are starting in a bit. Okay. Now we can start finally. So let me just resume share and make sure we are recording. Okay. So yeah, before we begin, so this training will be for 3 days. Today 26, tomorrow 27, and then 29. So there will be a gap on Friday. Friday, no, I'm not wrong. 27 is 26 today. 27 is again. Wait, what was the date? Even I'm forgetting now. Let me just check the calendar. You might have received the invite. Okay, for 3 days. So that 3 days will be running the training, and we have Nikhil. While I'm training, he will be there in the chat, and we also have Kavya, who will also be able to help you in the chat. So you in while the training is going on, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and we'll also have a Q&A in between the topics, right? So at that time we'll take the questions as well. And yeah, here's how the training will proceed. We'll have the training and then we have assignment. So I've shared the link, but you can visit the link that I have shared. And what you'll be able to see is this training as an assessment section. And if you go to day 0, right? Here your assignments start. And then day 1 means after today's training, you have to do this assignment. And then day 2, similarly, after day 2 training, day 3 training, and then day 4 is the final assignment. That is open-ended assignment rather than an automated one. So the first 3 will be checked automatically. There are instructions on how to submit the assignment and how it is graded. Day 4 is more open-ended. And once you are done with this, you can go as much in deep depth as you want, play around with the framework. This is uh, just the basic requirements, and you can build on top of it as much as you want. So you have 2 months, right, for completing the certification and evaluations. Uh, okay. So once you are done with all the trainings, you can schedule an evaluation. You'll be able to find the guide to schedule an evaluation. You'll see this button in your batch dashboard, and then you can schedule, uh, right? So yeah, any questions on evaluation and certification part? So evaluation will be a one-on-one call with one of our evaluators on Frappe School. Okay. I think there are no questions, so we can begin. Yeah, one. Go ahead.
I have a question. I have 2 months to complete the exam to receive the certification, right?
Yeah, 2 months to complete the assignments as well as schedule an evaluation.
Okay. In how many attempts do I have per
So you have
to
uh so in like assignments, no what do you say? No limit to how many times you can submit. So you can
okay.
submit again and again. The first 3. Day 4, once you submit, right, you can resubmit until evaluation, right? The evaluation call. There it will be reviewed manually by the evaluator. You will give a demo of how you implemented this app. And then uh, if you don't pass in that evaluation route, there will be one more round. We'll give you feedback and then you can prepare and come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the same for the evaluation to the final evaluation?
Uh, can you repeat?
That one. No, it's the same for the evaluation in the after day 4.
Yeah. So final assignment, once you are ready, you will schedule an evaluation. And if you don't pass in that evaluation, we'll have another round. We'll give you feedback and then you can prepare and schedule again.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So at max 3 rounds, if you don't pass in 3 rounds, you will be marked fail and then you have to re-enroll next time. Haven't happened till date, so low chances. But yeah, any other questions? Again, you can ask in chat. If you have not joined yet, go to chat.frappe.school. Sign up, right? Some have already signed up. So I would request everybody to sign up, right? So this is Raven. We were talking about it. So we'll invite you to a private channel after this. So you can ask your questions there. Cool. So let's go back to the slides. So yeah, Frappe, what is Frappe? Frappe is the name of our company. We build 100% open source world class software, and ERP Next is one of the products. So we have many other products as well. So you can get the slides here if you want. Um, just take a screenshot or something if you want to. And yeah, I introduced myself. This is my website you can go to. I do live streams on building apps with Frappe framework almost every week. You can join that too. Once you have the basics, you'll be able to get most of it. So yeah, what is Frappe framework? Frappe framework is what I call a hybrid full stack web development framework, right? Um, it is built on top of Python and JavaScript. So the backend is in Python and front end is mostly vanilla JavaScript with some jQuery. So we'll discuss more about the stack as we go. So what's possible with Frappe framework, right? Um, ERP Next, right? Many of you mentioned ERP Next. That's the flagship product that's built on top of Frappe framework, right? So think of it about like an operating system, right? Once you create a Frappe instance, it's an operating system. So you can install apps on top of it. So ERP Next is just one of those apps. Um, the chat app we were looking at, Raven, is one other app. Frappe HR is a separate app. Then we have LMS, the Frappe school platform, right? Where you registered and where you um, saw the course list and everything. That learning management system is also built on top of Frappe framework. And we also have insights and the new Frappe builder that we will see towards the end of the course. So what do I mean by hybrid? I said hybrid full stack, right? So on the one hand, you have this typical frameworks like Django, Laravel, Node.js, right? Which is with JavaScript. Laravel is with PHP, Django is Python. These are typical web development framework that you might learn when you get started with web development, right? So MVC, like model view controller. So models are like you write a class and you get a model behind the scene, right? Django.models if you have used that. Similar exists for the other frameworks as well. And then you have the view and some controllers that return those views and handle logic, right? And on the other end of the spectrum, we have no code, low code tools, right? Retool is there, Airtable is there. We have Buddybase and Tooljet in the open source space. So these are purely no code, low code tools. They don't let you go into the MVC part of it, right? But Frappe framework is best of both worlds. It gives you the no code, low code part. Once you deploy an instance, you can build stuff live in the instance. You don't have to go back to deployment part, right? Many things are available in the site, as we will see. And once you go into the developer mode, you will be able to control the classes, write controllers, right? And web pages and like a traditional web framework. So best of both worlds. Second thing you might come across while reading a definition of Frappe framework is batteries included. So what does that mean? Batteries included means that, okay, out of the box, it brings so many components that are very generic to build any sophisticated web application these days, right? It has a rich admin interface, right? The desk, we call it. We'll see authentication and authorization. So it has a role permission management system built in. REST API is there automatic, right? You don't have to install any additional package to get REST API that you might have to do if you have heard of Django REST API maybe. We have webhooks. That's a no-code feature, right? Um, Caching with Redis. So Redis is part of the stack. So caching, queuing, background jobs, everything is comes out of the box. Emails and PDFs. So we also have print formats built in, and you can install an additional app called Print Designer to design prints like Figma, right? And scheduler, as I was talking about. So yeah, go ahead, run this job every hour, every minute, whatever you want. That is also built in. And many, many more things. We'll cover a lot of them during the course of this 3 days, and we'll give you a solid foundation on top of which you can explore more of the framework. So yeah, if you use ERP Next or any Frappe verse app or spinned up an instance, you might have heard, or even you visited Forium, right? You might have seen this word called doc type, right? So what is a doc type, right? So doc type is everything in Frappe. It's heart of Frappe framework, right? A doc type is a model plus a view. So it's not just the model. Okay, there is an employee, he has a first name, last name, so on and so forth. Go ahead, create a database table for it. Traditional MVC stuff. But here you also control the metadata of it. Gaurav, can you please mute yourself? Yeah. So doc type is model plus view, right? So it also gives you control on how the form will look like when you are building that doc type. We'll build our on doc type soon, but that's the concept of doc type, right? So metadata. So you can, in the doc type itself, you can define permissions. Okay, this can be only accessed by account manager, right? Suppose you are building a sales invoice doc type, an entity, right? So that's a doc type. You can define relationship between doc types, right? So one to many, one to one, that kind of relationships. You can, as I was speaking, the UI on how the form will look like, how the field will behave, right? That's all metadata in. So checkboxes or fields, right? You can say, okay, this field in this form will be mandatory just with the checkbox. You don't have to write your own logic or UI layer for this. Then we have additional features like web views. Think e-commerce, right? Each item in your system gets a web page, right? That is the web view feature that we will also implement. So how will the list look like? What columns will appear in the list view? That all is controlled in the metadata of the doc type. And once you have the doc type, you can use the extension features like web form, web hooks, you can build reports, right? Scripting, notifications, that all can be built on top of doc types. Once you have the doc types, you can use those to extend those, right? Yeah, let's start with the desk. Desk is the admin interface, and we'll directly jump into a Frappe instance to look at how it looks like. So let's go. I'll go to my terminal. Hopefully you all have figured out local setup by now. If not, post it in the chat. Raven chat will help you out there. Add, okay, bench start. Okay, weird. What's happening here? Let's try to figure out. Received sick term. Hmm. Oh, address already in use. Okay, I got it. What's the issue? Maybe bench is running somewhere. So how do we kill that now? Ah.
I usually have to restart my computer to kill it.
Yeah. That's one way to do it. Okay. So I'll have to restart. I'll be back probably. But yeah, let's try to figure a better way. Process list. Mac. Okay. Activity monitor. Let me try to figure it out without the restart. Otherwise, I will have to restart. That's the only way now. Come on.
So basically, you need to get all the process IDs and then do a pkill, those processes. The problem is that it's not just one process. There are
Yeah,
multiple because Frappe does so much. So it's got a Redis running, it's got the bench web server running, socket server
So
running.
let's do one thing. While we are here, we are talking about processes, right? So there is a file which defines what all processes are running. This is called proc file. That will be in the root directory of your bench. So I haven't tried it before, but we'll go in the file and we will change the ports. So I'll make it 8005. Let's increment everything by 5. 5. So hopefully, and then we have
You'll have to change the common set config as well.
config as well. Okay, that's much worse. So I'll be back. Nikhil, till then, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me stop share.
You can write to list the processes sudo lsof -i, then the processes will be listed for you, and you can see the number of each one, and you can kill them.
Yeah, that's possible too, but okay.
That'll take time. The
That will
problem
take
is
time.
that it's not one process, it's multiple.
Yeah, so
You
Ben
might not
starts
want to
any
kill
process.
something that you don't want to kill.
Yeah, it's safer. I'll just restart.
Yeah.
It'll take less than 5 minutes. Let me just restart.
Okay, till Hussein jumps back in, do you guys have any questions? If you have any questions, you can post it on the chat app, right? We'll be there to help you out. Okay, how many of you have already set up bench on your local machines?
Yes, I have done.
Okay. Is there anyone? Okay. Uh, Cybersoft, you haven't set up yet. Any troubles or have you not started yet? Okay. 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 Instruction link, sure. I'll share it on the main chat as well as I'll share it too. So there are multiple ways to install, right? One is GitHub Code Spaces that will run on your browser. The other is that you can use Frappe Manager, which uses Docker underneath. And I mean, the way that I usually do it is I just install it directly. So I'm just going to give that installation instruction to you. Beside killing single processor, restart the whole symbol. Well, okay, Danny. So the idea really is that why does that happen, right? Why does that error come up? Is because maybe you started bench and then you quit the terminal directly, right? Without actually exiting the processes via control C. Uh, right. So now that's the main reason why the addresses are still in use. So the process is still running. So really, there's no good way. Like even if you were using some other tech stack, this would be the way, right? You would either have to restart the whole system or identify the processes, get the process IDs, and then sort of figure out, how to kill them. Restarting the system is way faster, to be honest.
Okay, I'm back. Um, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So okay. So now let's go to the bench directory. Hmm. Okay, it started. Some other issues. That's fine. So bench is started. So what I will do is, okay. So I'll create a new site for this training, right? New instance, bench new site. So let's jump back a bit before we create a new site to the slides and explain what we will be doing, right, in this 3 days. So we'll be building a custom app, right, for Irfan, right? Owns a business of car rentals. He gives luxury cars on rent. He has a set of drivers as well as a set of uh, vehicles that he sends whenever he gets a request for a vehicle, right? Suppose he gets a call, okay, I want a pickup from the airport and I want to go this place or that place. And then he asks which vehicle do you want? These are the options. And then he assigns a driver and sends, right? And right now he's using Excel sheets. So one sheet for a list of vehicles, one sheet for drivers, and one sheet for tracking their payouts. So a lot of Excel sheet handling, we have to solve that using Frappe framework. So, okay, let's get back and create a new site. So I'll call it Irfan caps dot local. So this will be the name of the site. This is how it will be accessible in the browser. Or we can call it Irfan caps dot I dot caps. That's shorter. That's easier. Okay. Asking my root password. Yeah. So now this will go and create a new instance of Frappe. Yeah. Now, so we set a password here. I will tell you where it comes. So we called it i.caps, right? Can anybody tell me how we can access it in the browser? I.caps. No. http://i.caps. No. Anyone? So if you check the bench logs, right, where the bench has started. Yeah, Malik.
Yes, using the loopback IP 125 127.0.0.1 colon and the number of your boards maybe
This? You're saying this?
8,000. Yes, exactly.
See? Does not exist. It says not found.
Maybe you have to tell the bench that your site, the name of your site is يعني look for the loopback IP.
Yeah, so we have to tell bench that when I type, so the bench is listening here. If you check the logs, right, somewhere you will find that, see, bench is listening on this one. But if you try to directly visit this, it won't show anything, right? It shows this thing that does not exist because there are two modes a bench can run in. One is the normal mode or the multi-tenant mode where I have multiple sites on this bench, right? If I do ls sites here, you will see I have a lot of sites and they all are listening on the same ID and port. So how does bench know that, okay, I have to uh, serve this site or that site? And what Umar is saying in the chat is the other mode, which is I don't recommend unless you are in code spaces because that's the limitation of code spaces. And then you have to tell bench that, okay, bench use, right? I dot caps. And if you see, it says current site set to I dot caps. Now, if I restart bench, and now again try to visit this localhost 8000, you will see this time, though, uh, even though the styling is broken, we were able to visit the site, right? So what happened here, right? We were able to visit this localhost, this. Because bench doesn't know that which site to serve, using this command, I said, okay, serve this site. And the next time, if you create a new site, you have to again use the same command and tell, okay, use this site. So this is single tenant mode. One site is served from one bench, that's it. But normally you wouldn't want that. You want multiple sites running at the same time, accessible via their name, right? So to do that, you have to add them to the host file. So bench dash dash site I.caps add to hosts. This will ask your system password, and this will go and add it to your host file of your operating system, right? So this will say that, like, this will add this line basically that whenever the user types I.caps, map that to this IP address, which is the local host. And then bench will figure out, okay, since they are visiting this, they want to access this site, right? This is multi-tenant mode. So we have to disable this single tenant mode. So what I will do is I will open up the common site config. So this is the configuration for all the sites on the bench. And you will see on the line 3 that default site is set to i.caps. This is what happened when you type the command bench use, right? So we'll delete this. And then again, I will restart bench. I'll go back. It is not found, right? So now I'll replace this with i.caps, right? And then port 8000, which is our web server is listening to. Nice. Now we have the site running. The styles are broken. So we'll do bench build frappe. We'll see what's the problem. So bench build command builds your site assets, right? Style files, JavaScript files. And if you reload now, styles are back. So sometimes the build fails. So you can directly run bench build and the name of the app you want to build the files for. Cool. So yeah, we have the site running. And how do you log in now? You are right in the desk. This is the login page for Frappe. So it automatically creates a user called administrator. And this is the password you set while you are creating a site, right? So I set it to ADMI and admin. If you are using code spaces, again, it is the same administrator and admin. This is the setup wizard. So you will see this only once where while you have created a new site and it will ask you for a language. It will try to guess your country and currency. And then this is the first super user you create, right? And App.io. Let's complete setup, save. So this will set up your site and show you the desk interface that I showed in the screenshot. Cool. So we are in the desk now. We are logged in as administrator, right? We put in the admin credentials. Usually you won't, like in production, you won't be using the admin credentials. You will be using your own user that you created, or you can add more users as well. Let me just zoom in a bit and we'll explore the important parts of this desk interface or the admin interface. On the top, you have the traditional nav bar. From anywhere, you can click on the logo and come back here. And here, if you click on the avatar and you can toggle the theme. We also have a dark theme. You can log out, right? You can toggle full width. So some spacing will become tighter if you turn it off. And you have reload, which I'll talk about later. And then you have help, right? So in help, if you click about, you will see what version, right? As I was saying, right, it is kind of an operating system. So you have apps installed. So Frappe framework will be by default there. It is mandatory. It is there, right? It brings in all the logic for the framework. So that is there. And if you install other apps like ERP Next, etc., they will show up here as well with the version they are on. And you will see some useful links, right? So let's close this. The other link is keyboard shortcuts. So these are also very, what do you say? Important to remember if you want to speed up your actions. So Command S is to toggle primary action. So if you are in a form, you can hit Command S to save it. Then other keyboard shortcuts that on a need to know basis, you can go and find out. And then there is a notification tray. If you see here, you will see the system notifications. If someone mentioned in your in a comment, someone assigned you, right? And you can even create your own notifications, which we'll see later. And that then comes the most important part in this nav bar, which is this awesome bar, right? So we call this the awesome bar. This is like type to jump anywhere, right? So if you want to go to the users list, you type user and it hit enter and it will take you to the users list. So anywhere in the system, you can jump from here, list, reports, right? Workspaces, just by searching. And that was the navbar part. What you see here is the workspace. So it has some shortcut links, which you can click to directly jump. So if you click user again, right, we are in the user list. And there are multiple workspaces actually. So this is the user's workspace. So it has shortcuts related to user management, right? Then we have website where you can see shortcuts related to building websites right from the site. Then you have some tools, integrations, and then build. So our first task here is to build a simple web page for Irfan Caps, right? Maybe you can say it is a landing page of sorts, right? So what we'll go to website, scroll down. We also have a blog post feature, which we don't want right now. We want to go into the web page, especially. Let's click on web page. And you will be brought to this view, which is a traditional list view, right? Whatever entities you have in the system, they will have a same template type list view. The filters and the columns might be different, right? But the view will be same. Pagination, right? Filtering, sorting, some additional filtering, and then a button to create a new one. So let's create a new web page. Okay, so this brings us to here. We'll give this web page a title. Let's call it about Irfan Cabs. Route it will automatically generate. So this is where the web page will be accessible if it is published. And then you have a few options to build a web page in Frappe, right? There is page builder, which will give you some blocks, building blocks, which you can use to build the web page. You can directly write HTML if you want. So you will be able to do that as well. You can write rich text, WYSIWYG editing. Then Markdown also is there. And I'll go with page builder and we'll see what templates we have available. So as you can see, we have a hero section with cards, testimonials. So hero is basically whenever you are in a landing page, the top part of it, right? Usually it has a image and a call to action button. So let's add a hero. I will call it Irfan Cabs Luxury Cars at your service. And then you have the call to action or the primary action label. What will be the button label, right? Book now. For now, I'll mark it hash. Later on, we'll come and add. You can configure the alignment, whether it will be left aligned or center aligned. And let's submit, right? And I will hit save. And you will see it is published because the checkbox is checked. You can unpublish it if you want to. But once you publish a web page, you will be able to see this link called see on website. And we will see this route as well, got auto populated based on the title. So let's see on website, and our web page is live, right? We didn't have to write any code. So this is the no code part of it, right? You can come back again here. You can say, okay, I want more sections. Add as many as you want. Right? Section with features. So each of them has a different, what do you say, set of, let's call them features, or yeah, features we can call them. Columns, 2 columns, right? You can attach an icon as well to the feature list. So yeah, play around with it. You will find this is one way to build web pages in Frappe, right? You can create one more web page. Let's say terms and conditions as Irfan wanted. You can set the route manually as well if you want to. If you don't want to use the auto-generated one, maybe T and C. And this time I'll go with Markdown. Let's write here goes TNC, no refunds, right? And then you also have some scripting and styling. So you can attach a JavaScript script that will run on this web page. You can attach some context, which we'll talk about later. And you can also insert some CSS, inject some CSS here. So for now, I will just make the text alignment this. Disable full width. Let's show title. Hit save. See on website. See? So it showed the title. It has a center aligned markdown content, right? Then you have additional settings. You can set some meta tags. You can add custom tags if you want to. Then you have some more configurations like sidebar, breadcrumbs. So yeah, all related to building web pages. But yeah, see, like within a few minutes, you can build web pages after creating a site. So this is the normal site, by the way. When you sign up on Frappe Cloud as well, you get the site. This is the site that you get, right? No touching of code yet. Okay. So this was web page, right? Let's go to user list. So there are a few ways you can go into the user list and see the users in the system that have access. So one is like you can click on my profile. So it will show you the profile of whatever you are logged in with. So currently it shows me the administrator. And then you can click on edit profile to attach an image, or you can click on user settings. This will take you to the form of this current logged in user, right? So you can edit details like what is the email, first name, username, time zone, right? Time zone can be set per user as well. So Frappe automatically will convert to the system time zone. So you have roles and permissions, some more information. So let's go back, like you can click here to go back to the list, or you can again, the best way, search in the awesome bar. Come here, we can create new users if you want to. Maybe Irfan needs access. Irfan at iCaps, i.caps. Irfan. You can define role profiles. We don't want to. So let's hit save. And if you refresh, you will see Irfan got created. And you can set a profile image for him. We also have built-in file uploader. Either you can choose from already uploaded files or upload from your device, right? So let's find an image. This is clearly not Irfan. This is Anup from Bruno, but let's add his image for now. So yeah, as you can see, the image got added. You can change it again, and you will also say this in the timeline view that I attached a file called anup.png, right? This is the timeline part. And this is the form view, by the way. This is the list view. Two most important views in the desk. The form view and the list view. List view shows you all the records of a particular entity or doc type. Now you know what doc type is. And form view shows one particular entity where you can create or update, right? You can even go and delete from here if you want to. So this is the form view. If we scroll down, you have a comment section as well, right? So let's build our own doc type and we'll explore more about it. Uh, any doubts till now? We are like just getting started. Any doubts? You can post it in the chat if you have. So yeah, let's proceed. Next, we'll build our own doc type. So what do you think? What will be the doc types required to model this use case, right? This use case of vehicle management form. What will be the entities, in other words? Anyone?
Vehicle.
Vehicle, right?
Drivers.
Most important. Drivers. Exactly. So at least these two will need. So we'll start with drivers because we without drivers, vehicles can't operate. So you can go to build and then doc type. or the easier way, just search doc type and jump to doc type list. And if you see, there are already out of the box 255 doc types because everything in Frappe is a doc type. Even the file you uploaded, right? If you search for file, you will find a file doc type here, right? The web page we created, that's also a doc type web page. And module is a way of grouping those. So if you see this, some doc types, module is a way of grouping doc types. So you can see this all belong to the core module, and then there is webhook belongs to the integrations module, blog belongs to the website module. So similarly, we can create our own doc types. So these are out of the box from Frappe, right? From this particular app. And you can view the source code of this as well. We'll see later. But let's create a new doc type. We'll call it driver. We'll create our own module maybe, or we can use one of the existing modules. I'll do custom. And these are some configurations. We don't have to touch it. We'll create a normal doc type for now. And remember this, we have this checkbox, right, which is checked and disabled. You can't uncheck it, custom. Let's create and continue. Okay. So this brings us to the doc type form, right? It has some sort of builder here, some settings like the module we set, and some more configuration, connections, like what all other entities it is linked to. So we'll come back here. So this is the form builder, right? Here you can define the view, right? Along with the model. So let me show you what I mean. So I added a section, and then here you can start adding fields, right? And while you are doing that, you can also define how the form will look like. You're not just writing a class and then defining these are the columns, but you're also defining the view. So let's say the simplest data type, you can call them, or field type we have is data, right? And this is like 200 characters max. So let's select that, and it added that field. You can give this a name. Let's call it first name. Okay. So we added a field. Let's add one more field, same data, last name. And then if you see here, right, it has a few things you can do. So if you hover over this, it will read that, okay, move the current field to a new column, right? Now we have the new column. So you're also building how the view will look like. Can you keep on mute, Udashay? Thanks. Nikhil, feel free to mute any one who.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So first name and last name. So I hit save. The doc type is created. A button appeared called go to driver list. Let's go to driver list. See, the same templatized view that we saw in the web page and the user, right? This is called the list view. And here you can see if there were driver records, they would show up here, but there are none. So let's create a new record, and you will see, you defined that, okay, two columns, two fields, exactly that. So let's give it a name, John Oliver, hit save, and the record got created, and you will be able to see them in the list view. Nice. So as soon as you created a doc type, you were able to do CRUD, right? Create, read, update, right? You can come back, update, and also delete. So before I delete, just notice this part, right? FHP, some random name or random ID that got assigned to this driver. So this is the primary key, right? Behind the scene, it is called the name of this document, right? So yeah, no problem, Udashay. So this is the random ID. We can control it. right? As a developer, we can control how this is generated. So you might have seen in sales invoices, you have SISO sales order. So some pattern of name, we can do that too. But let's delete it. So this 3-column menu will give you a lot of other options like printing, emailing, my favorite jump to field, which you will see. But let's delete, and this record should be gone, right? Now again, it is gone. Let's go back to the doc type. Yeah. So notice something. If I create a new driver, hit save, it saves, right? No validation, nothing. Even I can go and create like hundreds of these empty records. We just have the ID and no first name, last name, right? So as I said, the metadata, right? So you can control this stuff. If I click on any field, watch this uh, right hand side, right? This is the properties of this particular field. So lot of properties, but I'll click on mandatory. And if you see a asterisk appeared with a red color, which indicates that this field is mandatory in order to create a new driver. There are more properties like hidden. If you want to hide this field and just for some data reference, it is there, right? You can make it bold. You can make it translatable, right? Print hide, so it will hide it while printing it out. And in list view, so let's check in list view. I'll show you what it does, and I'll hit save. Go to driver list. You see, first name is shown in the list view, as well as it is mandatory now. So all records, they won't automatically get fixed, but new records you can say, okay, Hussein is there. If you don't give a first name, it will yell at you. Mandatory fields required in driver. So this is what we got when we checked the mandatory checkbox, right? Out of the box. Let's give Hussein. Let's also fix this two records, John and Jenny, right? So now records got created. We can do create, read, update, delete. Everything is fine. Let's go back and add a few more fields. Let's see the Excel sheet. So we'll get an idea what all fields we need. So there is a driver ID, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So somehow if we are able to get this in the same format, that will be good. Then we have the first name, last name, phone number and license number. Okay. Let's get those fields. So we do have a phone field, which will give you a nice phone number. If I go to driver list and see now, right? A nice country code picker plus a phone number picker. So I can come here and say India. It has some validations as well, right? Phone number, this phone number is not valid. So yeah, if you enter a valid phone number, it will let you. So yeah, that is that. One more field is license. So I'll keep it a data license number. You can make it mandatory maybe, right? License number is mandatory. So yeah, this is how you go about building a new doc type. And let's go to some settings. Let's see what settings do we have available. Ignore this part. Let's focus on this part. So this is a checkbox called track changes. If enabled, changes to the document are tracked and shown in timeline. So let's check this. Hit save, go to driver list, change Jenny to John. Hit save. Okay, license number, we made it mandatory. Let's give it a random license number. And you see, you change the value of first name from Jenny to John, license number from null to this thing, right? So this is what it meant. It says whatever changes you to the document of this doc type will be tracked and shown in the timeline, which is exactly what is happening. So yeah. Then we have track scene. So this will until, okay, you created a new record, right? Like automatically, maybe it got generated through the script or something, and nobody has seen it yet. So it will show it in bold. And once they see it, it will again be normal. This is that thing. Track views. So you can see who viewed this, right? If you are creating a sensitive doc type that you want to track if someone views, right? Then you can check this and it will in the timeline show you who viewed and when. For now, I'll skip it. Let's scroll down to the naming section. So this is how you can control the primary key generation, right? So before this, we had a random hexadecimal number. No, random hash, not a hexadecimal number. So we have set by user. So this is basically okay. It will show the field to the user that you set the name. You set the primary key, right? Auto increment. So this is like the default for many database systems. Even Django behind the scenes has like the auto increment in many types of models. So this is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will start at 1 and for each new record, it will create a new one. So this matches our description, right? The column we wanted. And it also takes less space than the others. But bear in mind, once you use auto increment, you can't go back to any other option, right? Then we have sophisticated ones like expression. So expression let you define how will the name look like a template string, if you know that, right? So you can say dr, and then inside this you can say hash hash hash. There is also some documentation. So it will give it a name dr dash, and this 3 will be replaced with 001, 002, so on and so forth, right? For each record. And you can also include this So the current month when this record was created. So if it got created in March, it will be dr 03, 001, 002, so on and so forth. Even more, you can use the fields. So you can say first name. So where I'm getting this is, if you go back, first name, you will see the name that got generated. So this makes it a valid variable name in Python. That's what it is doing. So based on the label, you can change it, of course. If you want it to call FN, you can edit this one. But I'll leave it at that. It makes sense. And you are using it here, right? So if I save right now, go back to driver list. Old records won't be fetched automatically. So let's say John. Phone number I don't want to give. Oliver. License number. Hit save. And if you see the name now, dr 03, which means March, which is the current month, first name, and then 001. If you create a new one, it will be 002. Matches the pattern, right? Dr month, the first name of whatever record is getting created, and then incrementing number. 3 hashes mean 3 digits. Cool. So we can delete these records in bulk. Just this, delete, and then I will switch it to auto increment. So let's make this user experience a little better, because I see that usually I would want to just fill these 2 fields. What I can say is go to settings, scroll down, and click on this quick entry. So hit save, go back. Now you see that this is the quick entry form, right? You can like just show the dialog box quickly. You can enter the mandatory fields. Will show you the mandatory fields by default. So you can say John, license number. We can give some random number here. Hit save, right? Got created an ID of 1 because we chose auto increment. Cool. Yeah. Any doubts in doc type creation?
Yeah, I have some question in the chat. I want to ask if we can change the series for the month. If we have, for example, if we have a joining date field, can we extract that month? So it's not this current month, but the month of that field.
So in that case, you might want to go for a more advanced naming rule, right? Which is by script. So you can write a script that generates this name. And because you want more control, right? Or the other way is to generate, yeah, Nikhil answered that in the chat. Other ways to generate a new field which you maybe set using some script and then use that field here, like joining month, so on and so forth. Yeah, totally doable.
I see. Thank you. Perfect.
Cool. Let's refresh. Yeah, let's go back. I think this is good. Like, good to start. We got the driver and we were able to do CRUD. So he can delete this Excel sheet. Not yet. First, we have to get his data into the system. For that, we have data import. So two ways to go again. You can either go into tools and then import data or directly search for data import. Data import is also a doc type. Even doc type is a doc type. So So what we'll do is we'll go to data import list, which we are already there, and we'll create a new data import. And you can select what type of doc type, right, you are importing. So in this case, we are importing driver. So let's search for driver. And it is not there, right? So import must be enabled at doc type level. So we don't want everything to be imported, right? So let's go to driver. And here is where my favorite keyboard shortcut comes in, which is if you go to help, keyboard shortcuts, jump to field, command J. So if you have a form that has a lot of fields, right? Hit command J, type the name of the field, it will take you to that exact field. So I will search for import. So if you see, allow import, go, and it takes me to this checkbox, which is basically what we wanted, right? We want this doc type to be allowed via import. And now if I go to data import, sometimes if you may want to reload, right? Because it is cached. So again, we'll come here and reload. So this is not normal browser refresh. It will also clear the cache in the backend. If you see, right? Clear cache. And now we'll be able to see the driver here. So there are two types of imports. So you can either import new records or you can update existing records. So in this case, we want new records. Let's hit save. This will give you a template on how the Excel sheet should look like. Or if you already have an Excel sheet, you can, or a CSV file, right? You can attach it here and then map the columns. Let's do that. So I will attach an Excel sheet I already have. I will have to go and look for it. And Frappe. Training. Materials. Drivers.csv. So see this checkbox? This private means only authenticated users will be able to access this file, right? If you don't uncheck, like if you uncheck this, this will be available to everyone, anyone with the link, just like Google Docs. And you see it attached the file and it's complaining that it didn't find the driver ID column. It didn't find the first name, last name column, because in the CSV file, right, these columns are not named exactly what they are called in our doc type. So we can map them, not to worry. So first name in CSV is first name in our doc type. Similarly, last name in CSV is last name in our doc type. Phone number is phone number. License number is license number. So this will let us map. So we don't have to rename in our CSV, right? Let's hit submit. It shows how many records will be imported, right? So showing only first 10 out of 20. So there are 20 records. So let's start import. Let's see if it imports properly. Come on. We did map right correctly. Start import. Ah. Console, no error. Okay, maybe we have to check driver list. No, not getting imported. Neither it shows any errors. What should we do now? Yeah, I think I have mapped it properly. See, mapping this to this to this. Start import. Nope. So here is one important thing about data import. It happens in the background, right? So it's not like you click the button and it will make you wait till it goes in the backend and imports it. It will do it in the background. So you can, if you have a million records, you don't have to wait on this page. And that happens in the background, and my background workers for some reason are not working. So give me a minute. I will just figure out what I have done. I have commented out all the workers, so there are no workers for some reason. And then let's restart the bench. Okay. Hopefully now we'll be able to import. No, won't let me import. See, scheduler works. Come on. Data import is broken. Wow. By the way, I'm in the nightly bench, so highly possible. If you are doing in V15, less likely. So I pulled the latest Frappe. That's what I did. And I.gaps migrate. I will explain what all this command is. For now, you can ignore. Okay. Let's see. Refresh the page. Let's reload. So cache is cleared. Start import. Okay, data import is for some reason broken. Any idea, anyone? So let's do one thing. Let's go to the doc type list. Driver, phone number. Let's make it. I'm just guessing that no response. Okay, usually it works. Let's see if we have anything in the bench. Data import. What happens when we click this button? Start import returns 200, right? That means it was able to do that. For some reason. See, start import is in the background, but it's not running. So this shows that, okay, actually data import runs in the background and not waiting for the click of the button. But yeah. So this happens mostly on Mac. You might not face this. So bench dash dash site. So I'm going to run a command called doctor. So this will tell me the status of the workers basically. So workers are online. Number of jobs that are running are 33. So this will show you uh, the status of the scheduler and the background jobs. Start import is running, as you can see. Number of jobs 1. And then stuff is happening, but it's not running for some reason. As you can see now, it somehow some stuff completed. So data import has started, see? And if I go back here, refresh, I should be able to see the progress. Data import failed. Let's see. Okay, that's Mac related issue. Ignore. But yeah, try on your own. You should be able to import it. Uh, some succeeded, some failed. That's fine. I will trigger again. Last time before we proceed to the next topic. Otherwise, we will be late. But yeah, trust me, this works. So RQjob shows you, like, it is also a doc type. It shows you what stuff is running in the background. And right now I can't see data import. See, it is calling the backend, but yeah. Okay, let it be. We'll proceed. We'll create one more driver. Jenny. Hit save. Cool. So we have 2 records. So yeah, let's now go back and discuss this custom checkbox, right? That is disabled by default. So I'll go back to the slides. We will first discuss what the tech stack is, what the bench is, and then we'll discuss why that checkbox is so important. So the stack, as I was saying, like languages are Python and JavaScript. The database is MariaDB or Postgres. Postgres support is not on par with MariaDB yet. You can, so it works with Frappe framework, but not with ERP Next. So the app needs to support it as well. Usually, there is some work being done to make ERP Next Postgres compatible, but there is no clear owner yet, so can't promise any deadlines. For caching and queuing, we have Redis. For the front end, as I said, like mostly vanilla JavaScript, Bootstrap for styling, and then some sprinkling of jQuery here and there. For templating, we have Jinja, which we'll discuss probably tomorrow. So here is the most important diagram if you want to understand bench. And on the left hand side, you will see the bench directory, which we have open here as well. Do ls, right? You can see the apps folder, the sites folder, env, logs. So what happens is when you install bench, right, and create a new bench, like install Frappe bench and then say init bench init, right? To create a new bench, this will create a new virtual environment, right? As you can see in this part of the diagram, and install some packages, right? And env folder is that virtual environment. If you have worked with Django or any other normal Python project, same concept, Python virtual environment. And all the packages and binaries go in this folder called the env. If you do ls env, you will see bin. So bin folder has the binaries, and lib also has some kind of libraries that you have installed. So cd bin, cd env/bin, do ls, and you will see the binaries. Cool. Remember this, I'll ask this in eval, or whoever is taking the eval will ask you. So what is the env folder doing here? Okay. Then we have some processes. We have a node process, right? Which we use for So we have a running process as well as behind the scene we use Node for some processing in the template theme side of things. Then we have Workzook, which is the server, right? The web server. Redis is for caching, queuing, what background jobs you were seeing, right? They were coming from Redis actually. So Redis maintains a queue of things to run in the background. Then we have the MariaDB. So one misconception is that you have to create one server for each site. The server is the same, so you create one MariaDB server, but the database is different for each site. And you can confirm that if we go to the sites folder, and you will see each site has its own folder, right? So we'll find our i.caps here, which is this one. I will cd into it and I will do ls, and you will see it has a siteconfig.json file. So each site has its siteconfig.json file. So let's open that in VS Code. And here you will see the credentials of that database, right? So as I said, each site has its own database. And these are the credentials that behind the scenes Frappe went and created a database user and a database for you, and uses this to talk to your Frappe database, right? This all bench takes care of it. And then the common site config we visited, right? This is common for all the sites on this bench. So one asks, can I have multiple bench for one site in case that I want two dev working in different project for the same site? No. One bench can have multiple sites. So if you want devs to work on the same site, maybe host it on a VM, give them both the access, or you will learn that they push to GitHub, pull each other's changes. That way they can contribute and collaborate on a project. Because usually they won't be working on a site, they will be working on an app, right? So that difference we will see now. So as you can see, there are multiple sites and then there are a set of apps, right? So in the folders, you will see each site has its own folder and then apps also one folder each. So if I go back to the terminal, cd apps, let's clear and do ls. As you can see, I have a lot of apps and we'll build our own app as well. So let me just clear this and cd into Frappe. Frappe will be on each site. There is no choice you have here. And if you want new apps, so you can say bench get app. And you can say I want this whiteboard app. This is like the GitHub repository. You can give it a Git URL as well or a local Git path, and it will go and get this app for you, right? You can also create new apps, which we'll do soon using new app command. But yeah, this will all create apps on the bench, right? On this bench. So if your bench is say Frappe version 15, ERP Next version 15, and some custom app you created, these are the source code of the apps, right? And what are apps? You will ask, right? Apps bring their own doc types. So ERP Next brings sales invoice, purchase module, this, that. They can bring their own web templates, right? Portal pages. So that you package as a source code and then you push it to GitHub and then people can pull in their benches, right? So this is how you got ERP Next year, or your own custom app that you create. You can also push that. And then you have sites. We created one site, right? You can have n number of sites in your bench. We discuss multi-tenant mode as well. If you don't use a current site, you can add to hosts and then route between those two. But the interesting thing is, what's the relationship between sites and apps, right? So in order to install an app on a site, you have to tell bench that, okay, I want this app on my site. Otherwise, automatically, other than Frappe, no app comes to the site. So it is not like that you install 3 apps in your bench and all the sites have it automatically. No. It might be the case that one site has just Frappe, one site has Frappe ERP Next, and maybe other site has all the 3 apps, right? But it can't be that your bench has version 15 and you want one site on version 14 and version 15. No, that's not possible because they all sites are referring to the same source code. I hope that is making sense. So we can take questions here because it is important you understand this concept of sites and apps. So any questions on this? Everything is clear? What's the relationship between the bench and the site and the apps? Site is one instance, right? And then you can install apps on that. Am I there in the call?
Yes.
Okay, it has happened before that I was in call for 45 minutes. I talked and talked, and then at the end realized that I was not in the call. So that was hard. Mysite.com is the name of the site. You can call it anything, right? We called it i.caps. Yeah. So we'll see how to manage the Git part, Nigam. We also deploy it on Frappe Cloud towards the end. Yeah, so we are running all the sites at the same time. So I was able to do i.caps in the browser. I can also do, I have a site called changemakers.localhost. Okay, no, I deleted it. That's fine. Maybe I have recent.localhost. Yeah, see, this site is different. All running in the same bench. So based on this domain name, bench can route it to a particular site. That's what we did, right, Darnis? Before that, when we used bench use, only one site was able to run at one time. Does that make sense? We are not setting any default site, so it is running handling. You can access all sites on the bench simultaneously. Yeah, that was okay. We'll take a break in 15 minutes. That's fine. At 12, we can take a break. No, one site, one address. So in production, usually what you will do is you will have an Nginx sitting on front of it. So you can route traffic based on that. On Frappe Cloud, we use Nginx, and then that routes traffic to different benches on the same server, and ports are different. So Nginx does that, reverse proxying for you. So if we set the default site and remove the default and change to host, what is the process for that? If you remove the default site, right, and restart the bench, you don't have to do anything extra. But make sure that you run this command to add to hosts, that so that your operating system and the browser knows that i.caps will be routing to this local host port 8000. That's it. If you want to go back to the single tenant mode, do bench use and then name of the site. I won't recommend it. Run it in the default mode, multi-tenant mode. Bench use messes up with a lot of stuff like socket.io. So default should be multi-tenant mode, which means all sites are running. I think I don't remember the command. You can just search for help and then grep use. Or we can see if there is a remove. No. Let's search for site. We'll see if there is a command. I haven't used it. I just go and delete in the common site config. Yeah, there is no anti-use here. That's fine. Yeah, we'll proceed to building an app now. Need more explanation on single tenant and multi-tenant. Okay. Whiteboard. Then okay. This doesn't seem to work for some reason. Mhm.
Awaiting my answer there.
What is your question?
Yes, I'm asking if we can link to the address, how we can link address with his name in a bench. If we are working off bench.
Username? No. Didn't get your question.
No, the name, the name of site.
Hmm.
We can link that with an address. How we can do that?
Link that with an address. What kind of address?
The address of site. If we create a site in bench,
Hmm.
we can give an address how.
So that is the name of the site. Like the name is the address. When you create a new site, right? abc.com. This will be the name
Yes,
of the this will be the name of the site that bench will use. In
and the
production,
address.
yeah, this will be
The
that.
address comes. The address comes automatically.
Yeah, this is the name of the site is the address of the site.
We can.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the address. IP address. I'm asking.
So that is
IP.
automatic. So IP address is automatic, right? So that will be based on your machine's IP address and whatever port bench is running on.
We cannot. We can never specify that address IP.
How can you do that? Because each machine has one IP address, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That is what it will use. IP address is property of the machine. You can't set IP address from site. It just you can configure the port, by the way, right? So if I open proc file, let's discuss proc file. If you see the web process, right? Proc file is basically process file, and it defines what all processes will start when you do bench start, right? So it has Redis instances, it has the web process. This is where if you change it to 8001, now it will be available at i.caps port 8001. This you can configure. What web port it is listening to, right? This you can configure. And usually that is enough. If you have a VM in the cloud and you just want to run your bench in this particular port, you can configure that.
Okay.
How about to deploy for production? Imran asks, can one site be in local and another be in production? It depends, right? Like it is not that locally you will deploy, okay, this site is production, now anybody will be able to access it, right? Production setup is separate from this local setup. Usually you will have Nginx. Check out production setup at frappeframework.com/docs. There is a Docker based setup as well, which is faster and then faster to do, not faster in performance, but then there is just local setup. So what we are working with is a local setup. Usually you will have a local setup separate on your local machine, and then in BM you will have a production setup. So you will push your app there and then pull it on the production. Cool. So yeah, what I was saying is the multi-tenant, right? You have the bench, right? Bench. It is running on the web process is running on port 8000. So port 8000. So you have this browser, right, which talks to your bench via this port, right? And you have multiple sites on this bench, a.com, b.com, right? Any number of sites. But they all are running, like the bench is running on 127.0.0.1, which is localhost. Nothing but localhost, your local host IP address, your machine's IP address, which you are currently on, right? So when you are in single tenant mode, you are telling bench that whatever traffic comes to this IP port 8000, right, route it to this site, a.com, right? So that's how you were able to visit this in browser and get the site, i.caps. But when you are not using bench use, you are in multi-tenant mode. This means this particular address can point to any of these sites, right? Can point to any of this. This all are simultaneously listening. There is no particular default site, right? In that case, you have to specify this in hosts that, okay, this also posts to this, right? This is what happens when you do bench dash dash site name and then add to hosts. b.com also points to this. Then after doing this, when you go in browser and say a.com port 8000, this will go to the bench. Bench will check this name and route it to that particular site. That's why in this mode, you can't go to directly 127 because there is no site name specified and bench can't route. Does this make sense? This is how multi-tenancy works. Bench will look at the name and then route that particular site. That's it. Port is same because it is listening on 8000. So there is no escape from the port. There is port-based multi-tenancy as well. You can read about it in the forum where you can say, okay, this site listens on 8000. Then there is one more site, 8001. In that case, usually you have a reverse proxy on front that routes the traffic. But yeah, this is the normal setup of bench. Make sense? Shall we proceed now? Okay. So we'll start with creating a new app. Yeah, even if like SaaS based solution is not just like in FC, right? We have there the tenant is a bench. So you can have any number of benches. A user can have any number of benches. In that, they can have any number of sites. That is a SaaS setup. You can use this for SaaS setup. That's fine. You can give one site to one customer. Thanks, Kavya, for sharing that multi-tenancy link. But yeah, you can use this. So usually what partners, they have one bench and they can have a set of apps and then multiple customers because each is an independent database, right? So that works. You can run a SaaS. Usually you will also have this kind of, okay, you have just one bench and then you have a staging site and then a production site, right? That also works. So yeah, let's create a new app, bench digest site, new app. Let's call it iCaps, iCab rentals, or just iCab, we can call it iCab. And this will walk you through a set of uh, fields or wizard, right? So this will be the app title. So let's make it C capital. What is this app? Manage rentals for i.caps, publisher, email, What license do you want? So this will also create a license file in your app and mention it in the README. So framework is MIT license, so there is no restriction. You can use it for commercial purposes, sell whatever you made with it. Whereas ERP Next is AGPL3, so it has restrictions. You can't sell it forward. So let's keep MIT. Do you want unit tests to be set up for you? Like this is the CI, continuous integration. So whenever you push new stuff, it will automatically run the CI test. I will do yes. And then branch name, right? What is this branch name? This is the name of the Git branch that will automatically be created for you. So whenever you create a new app, Frappe will automatically create a GitHub repository in it, initialize a GitHub repository in it. Sorry, Git repository, not GitHub, Git repository. GitHub is where you push later on, but Git repository, and by default it is developed. Let's call it main. And then it will create the app, install it as a package on your bench. And then if you see the apps folder, right, you will be able to find iCap here. So our new app got created, right? Let's go to the site and check. Let's reload. Sometimes the bench stops, by the way, if you create a new app. So make sure you check if bench stopped. Sometimes it doesn't, so that's fine. So I'll go to about and see installed apps. Can't find apps. Why? Anyone?
We need to install it on the site.
Yeah, as I was explaining, right? Getting on the bench, getting the app on the bench is not like by default it will get you on all the sites on that bench. You may want to be selective, right? If you get ERP Next on the bench, you have 10 sites. If they all got ERP Next, then that's like not really multi-tenant, right? So this is why you have to say it that go ahead and install it on this particular site. I.caps install. Let me just increase font size if you want. Does this work? Font size, install app. And then name of the app, which was iCap. And now this will go and install the app on your site. Now we can reload. See, bench should have restarted. Let's restart bench. So restart bench after installing an app or creating a new app. And now if I go to about, you will see your iCab app with the main branch created. It will give a default version number of version 0.0.1. That's fine. But this is creating and installing an app on a site, right? Anything on this? Let's take a break. After the break, we have to figure out that what happened when you created this doc type, whether this doc type is on the site or where is it stored, right? How can I share this doc type with others? What is this custom checkbox? That all answers we'll do after the break. Cool. Let's take a 10-minute break. Let's be back by 12:15. Cool.
Let's be back.
It's about the amount which gets credited to the account in advance. If you remember, I have words with you for this. I'm credited
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Okay. Let me just reshare my screen. Everybody back? Hmm. Anybody? Can't see anyone in the chat. Okay. Thanks for the confirmation, Romanos. Yep, let's start then. So yeah, while we are here, so this is most probably the last traditional batch of Frappe framework that I am going to take. After this, we are going to do some scaling. Plus, we have community trainers now. So they will be taking on the traditional batches. And the main way to get certified will be through course. So like the recordings will be there. You will watch all the recordings. And then you can do the assignments as well, auto graded. And then you can opt for an evaluation. So you can pay some amount and you can get certified without the live training. You will get a Q&A session. So that's what we are planning from the next time. So this is the last traditional batch. We'll have other batches, but not this Frappe framework particular batch that we are doing. So yeah, last one of its kind. Cool. Cool, cool. Okay. So where were we? So we were discussing this custom checkbox. This is checked by default. No way you can uncheck it right now. But why, right? Why? So this indicates that this doc type will remain on the site, right? So this went ahead in the backend, created a database table for driver, and that's it. There is no way you can say, okay, like this is the code for this doc type, go and right install in your site, right? So these are like the custom things, right? The customizations. So even if you deploy a site or an app, the users of that can create doc types, right? You can duplicate, but you have to change the name, right? So that will be a separate doc type altogether. So because you can't have two doc types with the same name. Okay. So custom remains on the site. That's it. Doesn't, what do you say, generate any code. So for in order to generate code, we have to go into developer mode and then we'll be able to uncheck this. So if I right now go to module def list, right? Let's first open our app in. So I'll go into apps folder and do code. So each app has its own folder, iCab. You will see there is iCab folder and then again iCab. So iCab, iCab, iCab. Three nested folders with the same name. And the first one is the app name. This is also the app name. This is the module, right? Here we selected a module. Let me bring this here. This module, right? Custom. And if you go to module def list, you will see this custom module here as well. If you can search for custom, see custom, and it belongs to this app, Frappe app, right? You can create your own modules. Again, they will be custom. They will be remaining on the site. They won't be exported as a code to an app. So when you created this app, by default, one module got created called iCab. That's why same name as the app, you have this folder, right? If you create more modules, you will see them here. So if somehow we are able to get this doc type in that module, right? In this module, we'll be able to generate code for this doc type, right? So that's what we'll do. First, we have to go into developer mode for that in order to enable that custom checkbox. So you can run this command bench dash dash site. So what I will do is I'll show you what happens when you run the command so you know where it is actually going. So I will go into the sites folder and open up i.cabs site config in VS Code. And notice when I run this command bench dash dash site i.cabs set config developer mode 1. See, it added a new key into the config, right? Developer mode 1. And now if I restart bench, I have to restart the bench, or you can clear cache as well. That also works. And now I'll go to the doc type list. I've refreshed the site, driver, go to settings. You will see this banner that appeared. This site is running in developer mode. Any changes made here will be updated in the code. Ah, it rhymes. This site is running in developer mode. Any changes will be updated in the code. Nice. I noticed it first time. But if you want to customize, check customize form. So now see this checkbox got enabled. I uncheck this and I will set the module to our app. That will be iCab, right? Hit save. Go back to the app. You will see that stuff changed, right? This is the Git extension, like Git integration in VS Code that shows me what all files were added. If you see, a new folder got created called doc type. Inside that, we have a folder for driver. And it has a few files that we'll discuss. But see, now we have a what we call the standard doc type, right? You can give this app now to anyone, and whoever installs it will get this doc type, the driver doc type, right? This is custom apps. So you have to go into developer mode in order to get out of the custom mode, right? And you can ship this driver doc type, this, that, all those doc types, and even then user will be able to create their own doc types, right? We'll have a discussion on day 3 probably, what goes in customization and what goes in standard, right? So now you see the files that got generated for the doc type, right? There is a JS file. So this is where you will write your Java client scripts, what we call them client scripts, which will help you customize the form view, list view, child tables, etc. Run some client side events, etc. That will cover probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We have the JSON file. So this is the data which tells what all fields are there, whether you have checked it. So if you search for track changes, right, you will see track changes 1. So whatever setting you are doing here is being synced to this JSON file. So if I uncheck track changes, hit save, you will see in the JSON, it gone. That key is gone. If I bring it back, See, track changes is back. So this is kept in sync with the doc type form. And since this is generating code, you can push it, and then whoever pulls it will get this doc type in the state you have defined here, right? All the fields, etc. You can see here what all fields does it have. So you don't have to manually meddle with the JSON files. Frappe will take care of keeping them in sync, right? It will also take when was it created, when was it updated, etc., etc. Then we have a .py file. This is the schema of the doc type, if you will, in traditional MVC uh, terminology. Then you have a py file. This is the controller file where you have a class that is the same name as the doc type. It inherits from a class called document, which is the base class for all the doc types in Frappe. And then it is empty. So we will see what we can do with this. Then the last file is an important file if you are doing serious development, unit tests. So you can write your unit test here. It inherits from Frappe test case, which in turn inherits from the base unit test uh, class that is standard with Python. That is it. So it does some extra magic on top of it, but mostly all you can read the documentation for that in order to understand this. If we get time, we'll write a test. But yeah, otherwise I'll share a video. So see what all files did we get. In summary, we got a JS file for writing our, so you can ignore this file. This is just to make it a package, Python stuff. And JS file for writing client script. We got JSON file, which is the schema of this doc type. So what all fields does it have, the metadata, etc. is stored in this. The py file for writing logic in the backend, and then a test underscore driver file or whatever the doc type name is, that will be the file for writing unit tests. And yeah, we have a command that can help you trigger those tests. Nice. So now we have the code. So code got generated, right? But where is this data going, right? Where is this data going? Obviously in the database. But when you hit save here for the first time, and whenever someone pulls your app and install it on their site, this database table is created in the database, right? That is where the data will go. So we can inspect that. I will go here. I'll say when data site, name of my site, MariaDB. So this will drop you in the database console of this site. This will use the same. If I hit enter now, you will see the database name we are in matches the database name we saw in the site config, right? For this site that Frappe created. And now here you can say DESC, like select from table, show tables. What is the, yeah, show tables. You can see the list of tables that are in this particular site. You'll notice everything is prepended with tab, 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 tab. So if you can scroll long enough, or let's go back because it is alphabetical, you will be able to find your table called tab driver. So what Frappe does is behind the scene, when you hit save, whatever the doc type name is, it will prepend it with tab and create a database table with that name. So driver doc type, the database table name will be tab driver. Web page doc type, the database table name will be tab web page. Make sense? And now I can see select star from tab driver, and you will see the data, the two records, right? First name, last name. See, first name, last name. These are all the field names that automatically got generated based on your label. First name, last name, phone number, license number. These are the 4 fields we added. Then there are some other fields that Frappe adds to track who liked the doc type, when was it created, right? When was it last modified, who modified it, who is the owner, right? And some more stuff. So who is assigned. So that all is stored along with the doc type here. So each doc type, normal doc types have a database table in the backend, which is that. Clear? What happened when you hit save? It went ahead, created a database table in the backend. That's it. And then when you're doing CRUD here, it is updating that database table. Any doubts still here? So database table was before as well, right? It is not that when we go into developer mode, we can see that. That got created for just for that side. But once you went into developer mode and uncheck the custom checkbox, you also get the code that can be used to generate that table on other sites, which is this JSON file. So when I pulled, if you recall, right, like around sometime we pulled Frappe, right? And then I ran a command called bench dash dash site name and then migrate. So migrate will look at this JSON files and make those tables if they don't exist. And it will also make sure that if new fields are added, it will add it to that table. So that's what happens. Main thing happens when you run bench migrate. So that is the process of database migration. So it will look at your JSON file and see that, okay, new field got added. It will go in the backend. In the database table, it will add a new column. So if you have ever worked with a traditional MVC framework, you might have heard of generating migrations, right? Here you don't generate migration. Frappe has automatic migrations based on the JSON file. Yeah, Rasul, you want to ask anything? Should we proceed? Yeah, now that we understand doc types, let's create one more doc type. So what was the other doc type we were discussing? Vehicle, right? Let's also put this in the same ICAP module. And this time, as you can see, check is already unchecked. So there is a question by CiviaSoft. Can the same table be used by the multiple doc types? So no, normal doc types, no, but single doc types, right? When I was creating a new doc type here, you might have seen there is a checkbox called is single. In that case, there is just one database table where all single doc types are stored. So one example is system settings. So system settings is just one form, right? Right? It doesn't have a list view. There is no multiple system settings. This kind of doc types are called single doc types, and they have just one table called tab singles, and everything is stored in that table. But normal doc types, no. Each normal doc type has one database table. You normally don't have to go and look at the database table. Usually you work on abstraction from that. But yeah, if you do want to write some SQL queries or connect database to a BI tool, and then in that case, it is good to know that these tables are created. Cool. Oh yeah, so since we are in the system settings, you can see a lot of different settings here. What will be the system date format, login, right? You can set the session expiry for this site. You can say, okay, only allow one session per user, right? Disable username, password, login, login with email link, login with username, lot of stuff. Uh, some kind of password policies here, right? Files. So you can set a max file size, right? Whether you want guests are basically the users who are not logged in, right? Updates, backups, yeah, system level settings. Denise asks, this is new doc type, will not be deleted if we do any update in another version ERP next. Why would it be deleted? When you update, it will just add the doc types that are there. Like it will not touch your existing doc types. unless they are updated, of course. If you have a sales invoice doc type, if in ERPNX that doc type gets updated, it will update it. Won't go and delete your custom doc types. They will be there. Unless your app goes and deletes it for you, but won't be automatically deleted. If for some reason we are planning to remove the CRM module from ERPNX, right? In that case, it will go and delete, but you will have a dependency on the external CRM that will cover it up. So the developer will take care of migrating that for you in case they delete as well. So don't worry about data loss in that case. Then so we created a doc type, but we didn't add any field. So let's do that now. So let's check the Excel sheet. Vehicle ID, make, model, year, license plate and color. Okay. So make is okay, BMW model, year it was made, license plate and color. Okay. So make will be make. I'm going data, model. What will be the type of year field? Can anybody tell me? Anyone? Year is like 2022, 2021, so on and so forth. What will be the appropriate? Yeah, an integer, right? So we have an int type field. So I will recommend in today's assignment, right? You will get to explore a few more type of fields, but try it out. Like we have a lot of different type of doc fields, we call them, right? Types of doc fields. Small text is there, signature is there, right? It will let you sign. So that's also there. What else do we have? We have currency, color, attach, right? Let's say attach image. So we can say vehicle image, right? So we want to attach the, and then int we will say year. And I will make this go here. Let's make this mandatory, model mandatory, year also mandatory, that's fine. Image can be optional, that's fine. And then we will say track changes. And for this, I will want an expression which will be make, right? Model, year. You can do slash as well. And then if I go to vehicle list, I'll be able to create a new vehicle, BMW S30 2023 4. Hit save. See, BMW S20 slash 2024. That is it got generated, right? The primary key of this. So now you can go back into MariaDB console. You can do select star from what? Where will this be stored? Where this vehicle will be stored? Anyone? What will be the database table name? That's what I'm asking. Tab vehicle, correct. Tab vehicle. And you will see this is the name, the primary key. And other fields as well. Cool. Let's exit out of here. Yeah. So now we were able to do this. We can attach an image. Okay. I don't think that exists. If that exists. Oh, cool car. Let's Open. You can either copy the image address or save it in your computer. I will copy the address this time. Go back and you can directly paste the link. See, we got the image. But yeah, now let's do some more metadata stuff. First thing, I want to show this image here in the form. We saw here, right? In the user list, we were able to see Anup's image here. So we want the same thing for our own doc type. You might have also seen that in employee doc type. So employee image. So that we can do through metadata. Let's go back. Here, I'll scroll down, form settings, and you can say an image field. So what did we call it? We called it vehicle image. You can recheck it, by the way, if you go to form, vehicle image, because I know that how this will be scrubbed to create a name. Right? That's why I was able to guess what will be the name of the field. And then I hit save, go to vehicle list. See, right in the form, we have the image now. Right? So this image, and then we have attachments. So it is not that when you add a field only, then you can attach stuff to your document, right? Maybe I want to attach a insurance document here. Sure, go ahead. Let's find something and then attach. I don't know, maybe this image. Some CSV file. Yeah, this PDF. Let's attach this PDF. See, now you can see the timeline you attached. Nikhil, can you mute them? Thanks. So attachments, you can attach more. Like there is some configuration you can do, but I think by default it is 15. So then if you click on this lock icon, see, this is like a lock. This is unlocked, which means this is private and this is public. So if you click on the lock icon, right, it will take you to the file doc type, the file document that got created. So file is also a doc type. Not very surprising by now. So this file is public. It can be accessed without authentication, right? And you can see the file. If it's an image, you can see the preview. You can see the URL. File size is 0 because it's not on disk. It's just pointing to some image on the internet. But if you see this thing, right, it shows a preview of your PDF file and then also the file size because it uploaded it somewhere and kept it. I'll tell you where. And it also has some details on what doc type and what document it is attached to, right? What's the file type? PDF, so it will guess based on the extension. So this is all files. And let me show you where it goes when you upload it. So if you go to the site directory, i.caps, do ls here, you will see there are two folders, one called private, one called public, right? Private files go in private/files. See, it's PDF in this image. Public files go in public/image, public/files. See, drivers.csv, that's a public file. And there is also in the private, if you do ls, right, you will see there is a backups folder. So if you take site backups, which you can take using the backup command in bench, they will go here in the backups folder. They are by default in private because if they were in public, you know what that will mean, right? So anybody on the internet with the link can get your backup. And there goes cybersecurity. So yeah. So let's go back to doc type list. Yeah. Any doubts till now? we are going to start a new topic after this. How I create a field that makes calculation. That's the next topic, Juan. Haha. No, no problem. Why are you sorry? It's fine. Ba-ra-ba, ba-ra-ba. Tell me. Nothing? All too easy? Going fast, slow? How is the pace? It's fine, right? Should I go faster or slower, or you tell me? Cool. Let's proceed. So we have just two doc types right now. Again, you can go and import. That's fine. Now you know import. But you can also export. Suppose I have this driver list, right? You can click on the three-dot menu, or you can go to report view first. Then export. Excel, CSV. You can pick the fields you want to export, right? So you can select minimal. The delimiter will maybe you want it semicolon. So it will show you a preview as well. So here you can say I want to export created by license number, first name, last name, and then export CSV file. You will see the preview. Nice. This is data export. Yeah. So Nigam asks how to connect map to tables. We'll see that. Cool. Let's proceed. We have to end at 1, 11, 12, 1. Yeah. So that connection will come tomorrow. I'm getting too many calls today. Let me just take this one. I hope this is not telemarketing, but no, not telemarketing. Hello. They didn't reply, so that's fine. Where were we? Yeah, automatic field calculation. Someone was asking, right? So in driver light, I have a problem. I don't write this ID here, and somehow I want this to be the full name of theirs, right? I want a full name field, which is what shows in the first column here, and also here and here, right here at least, the title of the form. So let's start with, so you can directly go to edit doc type here, and let's add a new field called data. It's fine. Full name. I'll move it here. Hit save. John Oliver. And then the user can fill in the full name as well, right? Easy, right? Nice UX. The user can fill the first name, last name, and then also the full name. Is it good? So the system should automatically take first name, join it with last name, and fill in the full name. That's what we want here, right? So let's first fix that. So we have something called is virtual field. So what virtual fields are, they won't create a new field in new column in the database, but in the options you can say how it is computed, right? In this case, we want it to be the concatenation of first name field and last name field. So you can come here and say f string, right? Doc dot. So doc refers to the document, which will be that particular driver for which this field is getting evaluated. Doc dot first name, then a space, then doc dot last name. Hit save. Go to driver list. See? This we have to fix none. So we can fix that using or or empty string. That is fixed. But yeah, these are virtual fields. Think of them as the computed fields. You won't see them in database, right? So on the fly, when you open the form view or we'll see another methods to do CRUD as well, you will get this field. Framework will on the fly combine first name with last name and will show you the full name. But there are some issues. You can't show them in the list view because they are computed. So framework can't go and fetch them from the database, right? One more issue is like if you connect a BI tool or something, you won't get this because this is calculated in the app layer, right? So this is good. Virtual fields, right? Virtual field, if you search, you will find the documentation are good for stuff that you want to show in the form view usually, or when you do get doc, as we will learn in the Python site. But if you want to further use them to calculate stuff, then it's better to have full name in the database and calculate it yourself, right? For that, we will need some scripting. So now what I will do, I'll go back. I will go to full name. I will uncheck is virtual and I will remove the options, right? I want to calculate it manually. Because right now, as I said, right, they are not in database. So in many places, framework can find them. So virtual fields are good for like showing some temporary fields in the form view, etc., etc. But yeah, good to know they exist. But what I want right now is I want to set this right automatically whenever this document is updated. Right. So what I will do is I will go in the py file of this driver, line 55. Okay. Project, let me just. So here you can hook into different life cycle of this doc type, right? So document hooks, wrapping, controllers. So life cycle hook, not the hook.py file. But here you can see the list of all available hooks. These are special methods that you can write in the class. You are overriding basically document class ka methods. And you have a lot of stuff here. So we can use before save. This method is called before the document is saved. So I will come here. I will say def before save. I will explain it once more. Don't worry. Before save self, which will refer to the particular driver that is being saved. So I can say self dot full name equal to, again the same, but this time self dot first name, self dot last name, right? Go back, change John to Jenny maybe, and observe the full name field. It got automatically set, right? Even if you change this to something else and try to save, it will change it back because this is our code that Frappe will run before saving any driver to the database. So if you are saving this, self will refer to this document. First name will be Jenny. Last name will be Oliver. It will concatenate it and then it will set the full name. So there is one more issue. Like if it is not read only this field, right? User will try to edit it and only to find that useless, right? This is a computed field, auto calculated. So this should be read only. So we can go in full name and make it read only. Go back. Now you will see this is much better, right? So now whenever this gets updated, the full name field will auto get calculated automatically. So now here you have the complete control. You do whatever you want, right? We have a lot of hooks. You can run before delete. Yeah, and it will be set in the database. So if you go back, bench dash dash site MariaDB, select first name, comma, full name from tab driver. See, John is John Oliver. Jenny, it is not set because we didn't run it for Jenny. Yeah, Jenny Doe. If you come back now, query it again, you will see now it is Jenny Doe, right? So it is in the database, actually set, because it's a normal field. This is not a virtual field. Virtual fields don't exist in database. Normal fields do exist. But yeah, now we are running some script. So imagine now you can import stuff here, right? You can do pip install pandas or whatever package you want, right? And then just use it in your py file, import it here, right? Import pandas, whatever calculation you want to do, you can set it here. And someone was asking the name generation, right? If you want sophisticated name generation, you can say, you can write your own logic to generate a name here. So you can say self.name, and then whatever name you generated, my own generated name, right? If I create a new driver now, because we chose auto increment, we can't use this. But if you chose any other thing, you will be able to use this. As it mentioned, right? If you go with auto incremented, you can't switch back to something else. But yeah, let's solve the other problem. We were able to set the full name using controller lifecycle hooks. These are very useful. You can hook into validations. You can write validations here. So you can say if not self dot, like already you can mark it mandatory, but just an example, frappe dot throw. So let me just uncomment the frappe import. Last name is required, right? So now if you try to save something without the last name is required. So Frappe will know how to handle this and show a dialog when you throw, right? It automatically throws a validation error by default. So let me remove this. You can comment this out as well. So yeah, this was controller logic, right? So before I forget, what was the initial goal? We wanted to show first name in this first column as well as here, right? That is easy. Now go to settings, view settings, title field, set it to full name. Two things will change. First, full name is the first column of your list view and also the title of your form. Nice. This is what we wanted. Much better doc type now. Cool. So you can add like, okay, say def on trash. So on trash, let me show you one or two hooks, then we can end. Self frappe dot throw can't delete. So this will prevent the deletion of this thing. You can write some logic, right? But if you now try to delete it, can't delete, right? So actually this hooks work. And you can find the list here. I'll share it in the chat. And it also shows when does it run, right? So if you just want to run something once when the new record is created, you can use before insert, right? We also have after insert that runs. This is called after the document is inserted into the database. Then on update when values of an existing document change. Submit and cancel we will discuss tomorrow. See, you can find some examples in this page. So there is also after delete. So this is when document is being deleted, the one we used here. And after delete is this is called after the document has been deleted. Maybe you want to perform some cleanup, etc., etc. Right? Okay. So this is where we'll end today. Any questions? We'll take a Q&A for 5 minutes. And tomorrow we will go deeper into controllers and then some more stuff. Questions you can ask now.
Will there be any documentation available for this ERP Next installation? I've been trying to install, but I've been facing errors, like the site is not found or something like that. And I've been trying to fix it
So
in Ubuntu.
I recommend Frappe Manager. Docker based, very easy. Just works. This just works. Try Frappe Manager.
Sure, will do, yeah.
This is created by the community, by the way. Like very nice CLI tool. I use it like I also have it installed here. So because I do trainings, I use the normal setup, but that's FM list. Docker is not running. So you have to you need Docker running. So I can show you how it works. Let's start Docker. FM is Frappe Manager, by the way. So now I can say FM list. So this will show me a list of benches or sites. So site, whether it is active, where it is running. You can say FM logs, right? To view the logs of a site. You can say FM code to open a particular site. Like it will create a dev container and it will start that in VS Code. So cool. They also run a mail server as a container. That's also cool. So if you try to send mail right now from your local site, it will say account not set up. So you have to set up separately. But when you use Frappe Manager, it will also give you a GUI, right? FMD, I think FM site, what was it? FM, let's say help. Info, FM info version 14.localhost. So it will show you all the information. Where is the site URL? Where is the data stored? Mailhog, right? Mailhog is the dummy mail server they run for local testing. You can see all the logs here for mails you send from your site. So very good. Adminer is a GUI for your database. They also bundle that. You can see the password, username, the apps that are installed, the services that are running, the workers, right? A lot of stuff. So Frappe Manager is nice. And I have raised a production setup issue as well. So as you can see, right, it is all in a container. So completely isolated from your local, what do you say, environment. But yeah, as I said, right, one more thing before I forget. When you do pip install, it will install in your pip install pandas, let's say. Install in your global Python environment. But what if you want to install in your bench environment, right? Just do bench pip install instead. So it will install in your bench environment. And if your custom app, right, suppose Irfan caps, right, like iCaps depend on some dependency, you can open up pyproject.taml, some Python dependency, and you can add your dependencies here. NumPy, I don't know what's the latest version, but like this. And then anybody who install this app, bench will automatically install the dependencies. So instead of pip install pandas, you do bench pip install pandas. See. Cool. So this is where you entered the name, right? The email. And you also have a README file. You selected the MIT license, right? This is by default, it generated your README file for you, some boilerplate. But yeah, this is that. Cool. Anything else?
So this Frappe manager that you shared, right? I do do it in Windows or I can do it in Ubuntu? How exactly?
No. So Windows, they haven't tested on Windows yet. So you have to do it in VM. So Windows, right? You have to spin up WSL because Frappe, anyways, local installation Windows is not possible, either Linux or Mac. So in Windows, I have seen people. There are two ways: either run a full-fledged Ubuntu VM. Second is use WSL. WSL takes less resources. VMs need more RAM. But yeah, like depending on what your setup is, you can go either way.
Okay, cool. I'll just try it out and we'll reach out in the next.
Cool.
Thank you.
Hope you have joined the chat. I will add you to the group where you can ask questions.
Yeah, please add me.
Yeah. So yeah, complete day one. If you have any doubts, we'll discuss tomorrow. Yeah. Day one, we have covered everything you need to, what do you say? Like just one thing is extra, which is a link field. But yeah, you will get it. But yeah, day zero, day one. And if you have any doubts, we have recordings of the previous session. This session is also recorded, so you will get the recordings as soon as they are available. Cool. If there are no questions, we can end. Cool. Thanks everyone. Yeah, we'll share it in the Raven channel that we'll create. Chat.frapper.school. Yeah, I'll one more time share the link, but I've sent the email as well. So join here, you will get access to. Okay, people are asking framework channel, but fine. We'll create a new. I have already created a channel. I just need to invite people there. Yeah, I'll do that offline. Cool. Bye everyone. See you tomorrow. Okay, reclaim host and